Wallace is a Manchester United fan. As you know, I'm a big Liverpool fan. And we've got possibly the biggest game of the Premier League season so far. In fact, definitely the biggest game of the Premier League season so far. Liverpool at Anfield versus Man United. And I've been crying all week because Man United have
going
top of the league so far. He hasn't let me forget it. And I just want to talk about. I'm gonna start with our combined 11s because we'll combine the two squads and create a nice little combined 11 from the best players out of it. Should we go, Hen? Should we go current players or should we go all time? I reckon current.
Current.
We can do both. We can do both because we've got. No, Ben. We've got time to fill, mate. We've got time.
Okay. Well, we won't do differently because they'll be mostly the same. But okay, but with players such as like Van Dijk and stuff like that, we'll just put it in there that we would have had him because obviously he's the best player in the league.
Is Van Dijk even guaranteed?
No.
Van
What do you mean?
Dijk
Is Van Dijk guaranteed?
What? Lindelof and Maguire?
Maguire and Lindelof.
No, we're not doing nibbles. I rate you trying to get a nibble out of me, but let's not mess around here, lad. All right. So, should we start and go?
Right. Yeah.
Right,
are we doing current first?
Yeah, we'll do current, and then we'll just say, oh, by the way, this player would come in if he was.
We're doing current, but is it like on their whole career or is it at the moment?
I know what you're trying to do here.
Because De Gea is the better keeper.
We started. Okay, we're off.
The thing is, I'm going to sound like I want to sway the favour I want to sway the argument in my favour. But I reckon just for I think we should do on current form. But I think over his whole career, I would have to agree that De Gea has been proven more. I'll be stupid to not say that. But I think we should do current squad.
Okay.
Right. So.
Are we voting on each player?
Yeah, you two can be the you two can be the judges.
We'll adjudicate.
I mean, we probably should have got people who actually know a bit more about football to adjudicate it, but
I'll let you have Alisson.
He's lucky to still be talking right now. He really
do you think,
is.
Hen, do you believe that Alisson is on better? At the moment.
At the minute, yeah, I'd say he is. De Gea is finding a bit more form currently, but he's not quite back to where he was.
Would you say that Alisson's the best keeper in the world right now?
No.
Who would you say?
I'd much sooner have to Stegen.
You much sooner have to Stegen over Alisson?
Any day of the week.
No, I think Alisson has done so much for Liverpool ever since he joined. I think he's one of the best shot stoppers I've ever seen. Distribution wise, he's changed how Liverpool play from passing out the back. I think the impact that he's had is exceptional. I would not say Ter Stegen's had that impact.
Yeah, but some of the saves that Ter Stegen makes, they're they're better than some of De Gea's saves, and he was the best keeper in the world as well.
No.
Yes.
I don't think Alisson's the best in the world either.
Tommy, who would you say the best in the world is then?
It's pure shot stopping, Neuer, and then I'd agree on all-round package probably Ter Stegen. Just because he gives you the more distribution than Neuer probably does.
I get what you're trying to do here, boys. I know. I can see right through you, lads.
No, but Will, think about it. You have to admit, 2 seasons ago, Ederson was far clear of Alisson.
I would say 3 seasons. The 2 seasons he's out that throne now.
2 or 3 seasons ago, and Alisson hasn't got that much better since then. Ederson's just hit, so I think it would be crazy to say that he's the best in the world. Go on, Marty, sorry.
Do you know what pains me, right? The thing that pains me is I'm not actually anti-Liverpool, I'm just anti-Ben.
Hey.
So, because I'm anti-Ben, I'm anti-Liverpool. But I've got to agree with Will. Alisson is the best keeper in the world.
You can't.
He just is. Ter Stegen's very good, and I actually rate There we are. That's the first stutter of the podcast. But I rate Jan Oblak as well. I think he's a great keeper.
Yeah.
But
I think he's been forgot about. Yeah.
He has. He goes unnoticed because he does quiet work. He's a silent man. He just gets on with his job, goes home. He probably has a lovely family, wife and kids. You never know. But he just seems like he's really good keeper. Anyway, we'll leave it there.
He is a good keeper.
So we've got Alisson
gets in.
Yeah, Alisson definitely.
Alisson is an all-time best keeper though.
No, I think he hasn't had that. He hasn't had that time yet to show. But I think in a couple of years, when he still stays at the top as the best keeper in the world, I think you'll be saying differently.
Got fortune telling.
No, because De Gea had seasons where he was best keeper in the world. There.
Yeah, but not anymore. Anyway, right, Henry Wallace. Let's have a fight. Right back. Right back.
Here we go.
It's Gary Neville.
Monty, let's sit back
It's
now.
Gary Neville.
Yeah, mate, I'm fine to sit back.
It's Gary Neville.
No, you talking about? No, I'm talking about current players, mate.
Oh, current players.
Currently, right now. Yeah. So you've got Wan-Bissaka. I assume, unless you want to concede it, you've got Wan-Bissaka over Trent.
Yeah. What's a right back's job?
A right back's job is to get the most assists.
What is a right back's job?
No, it's not.
In the modern day,
a defender.
No.
He is a defender.
Wally.
The back line.
Even
The back line of defence.
Dani Alves could defend.
No, I'm not having it.
The back line of defence. No. So a right back is a defender. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, best defensive right back in the world at the minute.
If you're saying this 20 years ago, mate, how the fullback's supposed to be playing, I would agree with you. But now a fullback is a provider. Trent has revolutionised Liverpool.
No.
He can't defend.
I don't care if
that's
he
in
can't.
your
Wan-Bissaka
system.
can't attack. I don't
Yes,
care.
he can.
Ben.
No, he can't.
Of course he can.
No,
he can't.
The fullbacks have become more attacking naturally.
They are
throughout
effectively
football.
attackers.
They are, but Liverpool play them as pretty much midfielders. Not a lot of teams do
no,
that
no.
still. No. Liverpool play them as midfielders. Trent would be a brilliant right mid because he is shocking at defending. We've seen it
He
multiple
can't
times.
defend.
If you look at-
literally, your manager brings on an extra centre back to play as a right back
The thing is, lads, you've
because
got to
Trent
make
can't
an
defend.
agreement. You've got
It's a good
you've got to
point.
come to an agreement on it. So
It's
one
a
of
good
you's got to
point,
concede.
But I think
How many times has Joe Gomez been brought on to help out Trent?
I don't care, mate. I don't care. Trent's
He
ridiculous.
can't defend. He can't defend.
Trent's a generational talent. You can't say that about Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, but I think if we're going off current form, it's hard to put Trent in there because he hasn't had the best.
I would agree
season.
with
Yeah.
that. Okay, I would like that's the point where I would agree. If you're talking about current form, I would agree that Trent hasn't had the start that any Liverpool fans would want him to be. But if right on form, if we're talking strictly on form, I'll give it to you. But Trent, as an overall player, like you said with the De Gea argument, Trent in the little years he's been in our squad for 4 years, he's done so much for Liverpool.
That's fair enough.
We aren't the same without Trent in the side.
Fair enough.
I'm so happy he's managed to concede.
Right, I'll get
Henry.
that.
We need to have you on more often.
I'm so sad that
We
we
need to-
conceded Wan-Bissaka, but his form's
So-
done me because Trent he hasn't been on it so far.
So far, we've got Alisson, we've got one United, one Liverpool player. We've got Alisson in goal. We've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. I can see Wilson's face just going.
I'm not happy. I'm telling you, lads. I'm not happy.
Centre backs, there's an obvious choice, right?
Yeah, there's an obvious. Well, I'll give you Van Dijk all day of the week.
Right, okay, we're talking overall Van Dijk, but currently, because he's not in the squad because Pickford's an idiot, he's not
Yeah, but
in.
still.
So we're talking.
You've still
if we're
got to have Van Dijk.
Obviously Van Dijk's there overall, but currently, I want to hear
Is he
who
there?
you have.
Is he?
What do you mean? Is he, mate? He's the best centre back of all time.
Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic?
No. I mean, if they're not injured. If we're talking like over the whole history of Man United Liverpool, I would like obviously have a big debate.
I'd probably put him in. Yeah.
But I mean, like if they weren't injured, but current players that aren't injured,
Yeah.
Van Dijk's obviously.
I think I'd 100% rather have Eric Bailly than Harry Maguire.
I was about to ask you about that. I was about to ask
100%.
you. So you've got, are you having Maguire in there as well?
No.
Who are you having?
But if I was,
Because I'm going to put in a
I
shout.
think
Go on.
I think our best defender is Alex Tuanzebe.
You think?
And he's on the bench. Yeah.
Really? Over Bailly?
No. Well, I'd play him alongside him at least.
Yeah. Okay. I think Maguire.
I've only seen him play well once.
Is a joke. I think he's so funny to watch. The fact that Man United have paid 80 million for him,
Yeah.
and he can't do the basics right.
I know.
It's awful.
He's looked a lot better recently with Bailly
So's his
playing
squad.
alongside him.
But
With Bailly playing alongside him, he's looked a lot better.
Okay, yeah, with Lindelof it doesn't help Harry Maguire, but even just like the silly
not at all.
mistakes, even against Spurs, mate, that game was a joke. He got shown up. That was your Van
massively.
Dijk. That was supposed to be Man U's Van Dijk, and it's turned out to be that.
Yeah.
I've put Bailly and Fabinho in my squad as the two centre backs.
I like Fabinho, to be fair.
Naturally, he isn't a centre back, but I think
No, but he's a very good player.
he's been I think he's been our best player this season. He's been incredible.
Yeah, he is a very good player.
So I think that sorts itself. I think we've actually come to agreement there, which is all right.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you've seen Fabinho because he goes under the radar. He's not a centre back.
Who have you got?
No,
who have you got so far?
Left back, it's like I love Andy Robertson. Like as a Man United fan, I love Andy Robertson.
Yeah, thank you.
I think he's miles better than Trent. I think he's levels.
I'd agree with that.
I think he's levels 100%. Above Trent.
Ability wise, yeah. I would disagree on sheer ability, but on consistency and performances. And Andy Robertson never someone in the comments is probably going to pick up a bad game that Robertson had. The level of consistency that Andy Robertson has as a footballer is a joke. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. You've got to agree.
I think he's definitely way more well-rounded than Trent, because Trent doesn't give you the defending that Robertson can give you. So from what we were saying, what a fullback should be, Robertson is ahead.
I've always picked Robbo over Trent in my fantasy team.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Alex Tellez coming in. I think he's very similar to both of them.
Yeah, I would agree. Tellez is good.
I think he's a very similar player to both of them. More similar to Trent because, if I'm honest, he's not the best going back.
But that's the fullback role now.
Yeah,
that is the role.
Putting a ball in. He's been so good for us. He's been so good.
But Ben said on ability, right, that Trent Alexander-Arnold is better than Andy Robertson, but he's not, because defending's an ability.
No, but if you're talking about but what I'm saying is
it is
what I'm saying is Robertson is a hard worker. He's our hardest worker. He's worked to get to that level. It's like a Henderson. Natural ability, he isn't the best. I mean, he's Scottish. He was playing for Hull, for God's sake. Like he's not. But Trent has that ability. Like Trent on his day is exceptional. The ability is unparalleled. But Robertson just works a lot harder than him. And he's grafted to get to that point where he's probably the. I'm not even going to talk about best fullbacks in the world because it's him or Davies. And I reckon you have Alfonso there. Wallace is better than Robbo, but I think Robertson is he's a blessing to that Liverpool squad.
He is. He's some player, to be fair.
Right.
Definitely.
That's your defence sorted, lads. Right. Well done. That didn't take too long at all, to be fair.
No,
I was expecting that to be a podcast.
It's 15 minutes and we've gone through the goalkeeper debate already, so and the right back debate. It's because I've conceded. It's because I've been good. I've conceded all the points. Normally I would scream and shout for Trent, but on form I just can't argue it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right midfield.
Oh, should we do 3 centre mids? Are we doing a 4-3-3?
Oh yeah, that's better to be fair for both teams.
Let's do a 4-3-3.
That's an obvious choice again, surely.
I think all three.
Bruno's got to go in.
Yeah, Bruno
goes in.
He's got.
Can I hear? I want to hear what your sense is. I won't add to this. I want to hear who your midfield three are.
I think on form, I think Fred's got to play. I think he's got to play. Fred has been so good. Been massively underrated.
This is the problem. Well, your argument and my argument for these now isn't going to be based on form. I'm talking about like player. I know I said with Trent it's about form.
Yeah, but we've gone off the other ones off form though.
Mate, you can't change it now.
You said form to get.
Basically, my argument is my midfield three is Henderson, Bruno and Thiago.
Thiago hasn't done anything yet.
He hasn't done anything.
This is what I'm talking about.
He is a very.
This is what I'm talking about. If you're talking about form for the team, you can't put Thiago in because he's played 3 games. Thiago generally is one of the best midfielders in the world. That's without
100%.
We need him to show it. Yeah. It's hard to do in the Premier League, and I'm sure he can do it.
But he's been very good for our 3 games, and you know what he's like, mate. You won 5 trophies with Bayern last season, and we signed him for that reason.
So did Benjamin Pavard, but
Thiago's like team of the year shouts, mate. Like you can't debate about Thiago's class. Like
Thiago is an unreal player.
I'm sorry to say, current form.
Yeah,
you did say current form to get Alisson.
But it's not current form. It's current players. Like
we said current form. We said current form.
Oh, he's changed it up.
He's changed
it up.
That's why
that's unfair because then I can't have Thiago because he's only played 3 games. Based on the fact he's only played 3 games.
Well, then you can't.
But he's been very good for those 3 games. but he's just played 3 games.
Yeah, but that's like me saying. That's like me saying. I reckon if Dean Henderson got game time, he could.
Yeah, but Thiago is a starter for us. It's like when you first signed Paul Pogba from Juventus. If you're telling me about his team, I would put him in straight away because he was one of the best midfielders in the world.
Yeah, but that's another debate because how much has he been doing recently?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it's
he's
so
been slagging the club off more than he's been
I
playing.
think it's so unfair to keep Thiago out.
Well, I think you need to concede.
I think it's so.
Paul Pogba has been unreal recently.
Fold, Ben.
And if I'm honest, Bruno Fernandes, especially in the game in the week, Bruno Fernandes wasn't.
No, he's
good.
dropped. Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, he hasn't been that good.
And Paul Pogba stepped up, was playing balls all over the park as he does, which I really like about him. Like he just steps back and passes. Like his passing range is a joke.
Yeah.
And then he scored the goal to win the game.
But I think that's the problem with the. The problem with the form debate is. Yeah, I think that's the problem with the form debate because if you're talking about if you said over you wouldn't have put Pogba in if he hadn't had those good last 2 games. He's been exceptional for those last 2-3 games. I can't deny that at all.
He's been not just those games. He's been quite good this season. To be fair,
and Bruno hasn't so much for the last 2. He wasn't
the
good.
last few games. Bruno hasn't.
But you've put him in that team
as much.
But that team, that's not even a debate that Bruno Fernandes is in it. I'll be an absolute idiot to say he wouldn't be. But this is what I'm trying to say about Thiago. That season that he had with he's just exceptional.
But if you're going back all the way to
a different team,
then a different team in that season, then you've got to take into account Bruno the whole of last season as well, which. He was ridiculous. So then you can't say Bruno's form's bad if you're counting Thiago's
Bruno's getting. Bruno had obviously Bruno's the number one choice.
His form isn't even bad. It's just bad for his standards of last season and the very start of this season. He's still scoring pretty much every game and assisting.
I wasn't using that. He
set himself such a high standard.
I wasn't using that point as a reason why Bruno shouldn't get in the team. I was just saying that's the difficulty.
Bruno's 100%.
Obviously, but that is the difficulty with using the form argument.
Yeah.
Is that
so lads, nail up your midfield 3 then.
You're gonna say Hendo gets in as well. What if
Hendo gets in? I hate to say it, but Hendo gets in.
I'll put him in, but
I'm looking on Zoom right here, and Wally's face isn't looking too happy at the moment.
I'm not sure. On Fred or Pogba, I don't know which one.
I will give you Pogba. I'll give you Pogba.
He has been really good recently.
I just think on form as well, and the class that we. The problem with Pogba is, I've always said it, is Pogba is a world class player, but to be classed as a world class player, you have to be world class for less than 2 games every 10. You have to be consistently showing that you're class. Whereas Pogba will have 2 games where he'll prove me wrong. He'll be amazing, but then he'll have 8 games where he stinks out Man United.
Yeah,
but that's the difference. That's what's differentiated him between Bruno and Pogba. Yeah. Bruno's done it consistently for a year.
Bruno's showing everyone in that Man United squad how to play.
Yeah, exactly. He joined Man United, and the impact he had was. It was the biggest impact that anyone's had on United since Fergie left. Even probably before that, it was. It really was. Because Pogba, he was a big impact because of the name and what he brought, and his performances at the start were really good. He was showing us that he can play in the Prem, which was always the big question. But Bruno's consistently kept up this level that I thought was form. I think I said in the first podcast it's just it's form at the moment, but it doesn't look like it's wearing off. Yes, he's had a few bad games, but... Everyone has a few bad games, don't they?
Well, to be fair, we're saying a few bad games, but
he's been all right. It's just not to his level. We know he's world class, and he just hasn't been hitting those marks yet.
He's still been brilliant. Yeah. He's just not been the Bruno Fernandes that we've expected.
It's very hard to stay at that standard, though.
Oh yeah,
it is
very, very hard to stay at that ridiculous standard. Because De Bruyne has had that.
I was just about to say it's like KDB.
But who?
Because he is world class.
But
and that's if we were doing a Man United squad, KDB would get in. KDB would obviously get in, but on actually he's had a couple of good games to be fair, most recently. But this season he hasn't been. This season hasn't been him.
He hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't been. Yeah. That's very fair.
He's not been so.
But that's the midfield done. Though.
You put Henderson in. Okay, that's fair enough.
Henderson in, Bruno and Pogba,
and then front three. Marcus Rashford gets in my squad. You'll be glad to hear. You'll be glad to hear. But I'm sticking up for Salah on the right, Mane on the left. I'm putting Rashford up front. I mean, you could. It doesn't matter which.
Mane, we're doing this on form, Ben.
Well, come on.
We're doing this on form. It depends who you're going to argue.
But I don't think there's anyone else.
To be fair, I wouldn't put anyone else. I can't argue for Martial. I can't argue for
because Martial's not been good.
This is why I'm disliking the form thing, because Mane is such a certain, so Salah and Rashford is just better.
Yeah, but Mason Greenwood, you talk about generational talents. He is unbelievable. He is going to be.
He is going to be. I'm looking at this sheerly from a stats perspective, because to be honest, I don't watch Man United as often as I should, considering I'm talking about them. Yeah, but Mason Greenwood's stats haven't actually been that good if you look at them. I'm probably going to get clipped saying this, but I don't think his stats are actually that good this season. So that's why I wouldn't have him. You're talking about generational talents.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, that's certain, but I think my front three sorts itself really.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. Mason Greenwood's stats this season, he's only got 1 goal.
1 goal?
Yeah.
Right, so
there's not much you can say.
So Mane and Salah, if we're having this form debate, then Mane and Salah are levels.
Yeah.
Right.
Salah, you said Fabinho's been your best player. I just want to pick up on this quickly. You said Fabinho's been your best player, but surely don't you think that Salah has? Or do you think...
No, Salah could be a level above, I think. That's what we're talking about with Salah. That's why it's ridiculous. Is because Salah's level is that high. I don't think he's been to his capabilities, and he's the Premier League top goal scorer.
But that's the thing, because Bruno, I think the 3 players that stand out to me at the moment in the Premier League are Bruno, Salah and De Bruyne. They've all set themselves this massively high standard to achieve.
Yeah.
Which is going to be so hard for them to keep up over a longer period. That'll be the judgment of whether they really are a world-class player.
Salah's level is
because they are at the moment. They are,
yeah.
but.
I don't think his individual performance has been
Salah's done it for longer.
I don't think his individual performance has been that to rave about. Yes, he's got the goals, and I love Salah to pieces. I think he's class, but individually, he's not like he doesn't get the ball, and you're scared of him all the time. He'll just pop up when you need a goal, and he'll finish it. And I think that's what Salah's transformed.
If you have that front three as well, they're all lovely people, from what I've heard. You know, Rashford's got his with his school meals thing. Is MBE? Marcus Rashford. MBE. Salah's just done something for people in Egypt where there's a famine or something, and I mean, Mane's off to Senegal every time he can. I think it's brilliant.
Building schools in Senegal.
Exactly. That's the reason I'd choose him. Yeah, to play the charity 11 to play the sidemen next. Let's have that.
Right, just to clear it up, we've got our full team. It's Alisson in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Fabinho, Bailly, Robbo, Henderson, Bruno, and Paul Pogba. Mane, Salah, Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
It's a decent
well
team.
done.
That's a good team. That's a good team.